This article comes from Investors Business Daily. Is it time to buy gold stocks and ETFs as bank crisis rocks investors? Here's what charts show. Gold stocks hold a valuable place in asset allocation for investors, especially in times of high inflation and economic uncertainty. In March, gold bullions and coins, gold stocks, and gold ETFs found new strength amid the banking crisis that was unfolding. Gold has outperformed the S&P 500 this year, 8.1% versus 2.5% through the previous Wednesday. Many investors believe gold still has a place in long-term portfolios, and indeed in 2023. So if you think gold is going higher, here are a list of gold exposed ETFs that I'm going to analyze. We're going to start with U.S. Gold and Precious Metals, GOAU, which I've never heard of before. GOU, GOAU. Okay, so I'm going to start with the monthly chart. We can see the lows, or most recent lows. Down at 12. So if you look closely, we had a drop in price, two doji candles, basing candles, and then a surge, taking out the previous pivot high. So this is monthly buyers at $12. Look at current price, go up and to the left to find maybe where some sellers are. You see previous resistance if you draw, and support, right? Resistance, support, support, resistance. Alright, so I'm not seeing anything on the monthly chart with the exception of up here. If you want to call it that, you had a rally in price, you had some basing, a basing candle, and then a drop. So we'll just call that monthly sellers at, we'll say 25.50. Alright, let's go down to the weekly chart. So in order for a new, we'll call it new uptrend to establish, we need to take out this resistance, which would establish a pivot high potentially, right? You have a higher high, lower high, and you need that higher high to establish the uptrend. So for now, price on GOUA is sideways until we get a break and a close on the weekly chart above $19. If we do see a close above this level and gold continues to surge higher, there's no reason why price cannot continue higher to the monthly sellers at 25.50. Okay, what's the next one? We got the gold miners. Now this is 2x, which means that for every percent I think gold moves, this particular ETF is going to move. It's going to move to 2%. All right, NUGT. I'm going to start with the monthly chart, like as usually do. And you might find a similar pattern. So again, we have monthly buyers that stepped in at, we'll say $23. And we'll look at current pricing. Go up and to the left. You might have some sellers at the 48 area. Just all right. So you had a rally in price. You had a basing candle, then a drop. All right. So for now, I'm going to say that this is where we have monthly sellers at 109. Okay, we're going to go down to the weekly chart. Kind of very similar to GOAU. We need a break above this pivot high to establish the uptrend. However, let me just draw a line here. We get a break above 46.60. There's no reason why price cannot continue to resume higher to the $80 level. But we need to see this break. Alright, let's go to the next one. That's going to be GLDM, S&P Gold Mini Shares Trust. Never heard of it. GLDM. I'm going to go to the monthly chart. Alright, so on the monthly chart, price is approaching all-time highs again. We really need price to take out the all-time high. I'm just going to say $41 before this can be established monthly buyers, but I'm going to mark it off anyway because as you can see, price did come into the zone and bounced higher. And I'm going to say that's 35.50. Alright, so let's take it down to the weekly chart. And unlike the previous two, we do have an uptrend on this one. Pivot high, pivot low. So higher highs, higher low, higher high. So we're in an uptrend. So the question is, last week's weekly candle was an indecision candle. So these are going to break higher or lower. If it breaks higher, the reward to risk ratio is limited, because who's to say that you won't have a triple top and then price bounces down. Preferably, what I would like to see is price pull back to go higher. Let me just go down to the daily just to see what it's looking like. So this might be an area where there might be daily buyers. I only say might because price didn't really move a lot, but it could still work out. I would prefer this area though instead, which is only $3 lower. So we'll mark it daily buyers at the $38 level, and I'm going to just say question marks. Again, 41 is near all-time highs, but again, out of the first three ETFs we saw, this one is in an uptrend, but upside may be limited. Alright, let's go to the next one. Bar, never heard of Bar either. This is the Granite Shares Gold Trust shares. This must have been marked up from years ago. Almost came back, but no cigar, right? Okay, I'm just going to take this off the chart. Similar to the previous one we saw, you have all-time highs again. At 2150, very similar. You have demand or buyers at the $18 level. We're going to say 1875. 1775 rather. Alright, let's go down to the weekly chart. Similar, we're in an uptrend. There might be some buyers at this level here. This weekly candle took out the pivot high here, so there might be some buyers here, but there's a gap. So let's go down to the daily chart. Very similar. Very similar. To the previous ETF that we saw. This is 1880. We'll say question marks. And again, I'm saying question marks because the volume wasn't there for me to validate whether there are true buyers at this level or not. But again, this move took out the pivot high, so it could work. Again, upside is limited. Could be forming a triple top if and when price gets up here. Alright, what's the next one? IUA, iShares Gold Trust. I did hear of that one. That's probably one of the bigger ones. I'm going to start with the very similar. You see the theme? Very similar. We'll say that's 39 tops. At the $34 level. Again, upside might be limited. This one is in an uptrend as well. See how price came back? Okay, just gonna skip that. Upsize limited. Let's go to the next one. GLD. Very similar, so I'm not even gonna bother. Very similar. All these look the same. We just say 190. Let's go to SGOL, Aberdeen. SG, what was it? SGOL. SGOL. Again, similar, right? And there's a reason why now that I think there's a common theme. Okay, GDX. I like GDX. If gold continues to go higher, GDX is gonna I think outperform. Okay, so this is a little different, right? The previous ETFs, this was kind of like buyers here. All right, so the buyer's gonna be below here. At 23. Okay, let's go down to the, and similar to an ETF that we did see, there were sellers up here. Monthly sellers at $45. Okay, let's go down to the weekly chart. We take out this pivot high, we establish an uptrend. No reason price can't get up to the monthly sellers area. Let's go to the next one. Two more. Ring, never heard of that one. But that's similar to the miners. Okay, I'm not going to mark this one up, but very similar. Let's just go down to the, very similar. Need to take out this pivot high at $26 to establish the uptrend. All right, and the last one, and then I'll get into why. GLTR. GLTR. This was an area that my eyes gravitate to. So we had a rally in price, base, and then a strong move higher. Price came back, nipped it, established new highs, came back. Did not have a, I guess it closed at the bottom of the zone, but it still worked out. Price came back. Let's go to the weekly. Similar, need to take out this pivot high at 90. We'll say 90. We'll say 93 before we establish the uptrend. Now, why do many of these charts look similar? Well, they mimic the price movement of gold. Now, if we go to the gold chart, gold futures. So I'm at the metals, gold futures right here. Alright, so let's see if gold mimics. Very similar. Right? Very similar. And then you have the highs here. Many think we can see 2,500 gold this year. But in order for that to happen, the price needs to take out the monthly seller zone at 2030. But very similar, right? We have monthly buyers down at the $1,800 level. Price, I think, is going to have a challenge getting through this double top. Price currently in this monthly seller zone. Let's just scroll down to the weekly, see if there's any other zones. Okay, to see wicks, selling. Let me go down to the daily chart. Alright, current price, just going to scroll over. This was a nice zone on the daily, and it did hit, it did hold. Alright, so I want to see if there's something up here. This was a nice level. I love that. Drop in price, base, and then a strong move down. Wish I had this set up over here, because that would be a place to short price. Alright, let me just see. Go down to the 4-hour chart. See if there's anything there of interest. Alright, this is what we call a wick over wick. I like this area. You have a strong move down, volume, but it's on a smaller time frame. So I don't anticipate, price may react to it, but I don't anticipate price reversing at this level. If anything, price is going to reverse higher in the zone. But there you have it. The opportunity to go long gold was when prices were down at the 1800 level. There's no setup because we are at monthly seller zone, right? You don't want to go long anyway. I have a bias on gold to go higher, so I don't want to short. I will look to day trade the futures if the opportunity presents itself. But right now, gold is in a nice, uptrend into monthly supplies at this time. So that's the analysis on all the some of the ETFs anyway exposed to gold, according to the article. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Please like the video.